Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Elathrix, and of course welcome to the beginning of a brand new mini-series taking a look at the various mods which are available for this game. For the longest time I've ignored them honestly, and I really shouldn't have, because just after going into a few of them for the last few hours, checking what's available, my god, there are so many options. Originally I was going to just go with one and just do a full playthrough, but instead we're going to be taking a look for the first 100 years or so of gameplay of several different mods, one at a time or perhaps a combination of a few. But today, what we have to begin with is this, the machine cult. Now all of this is part of the mod Ethics and Civics Classic 2.7. There will of course be a link in the description in each of these videos showing all of the mods so you know where to go. I'll be getting them all off Steam of course. So, what exactly is this? And am I using any other mod? Well, yep, I am also using the machine ships mod, which means we can now have a full set of machine ships which will really fit this empire. Though this won't be the focus in this video because I do want to do a mega structure run going with gigastructures, or is it gigastructures, whatever, however you pronounce it. I will be doing a run with that fairly soon, probably a full run, because that's going to be really complex, and I will be using this as well, but of course, once again, link in the description. So, what exactly is going on here? Because there is a lot of new stuff to look at, and honestly, for the first hour, I was just completely lost because of how much stuff this adds to the game. Now, I'm not sure if these things will be balanced, but I love the fact you can make some really interesting empires. So essentially, what's happened here is the ethics system and the civic system has been kind of overhauled, and a lot has been added. In addition to this, there is a whole new host of jobs when you get into the game, and new policies and loads of other stuff, which I'll be trying to get into as we continue. So, let's just have a brief overview. So let's have a brief overview then of the ethics. Since there's a lot of them here, if we go into too much detail, we'll be here all day and not really testing anything out. So with the ethics, you do have a lot of the original ethics, but even those have been changed quite dramatically. So just going from the top, we have Fanatic, Libertarian, of course normal Libertarian. These will increase your faction influence gain, they will increase your admin cap, which normally is from Pacifist, and will increase your ethics shift chance at the cost of -5 stability for the Fanatic version. That's something I really love the look of. So all of the Fanatic versions have a negative attached to them. I love this idea because you're going so far into this ethic, it comes at the cost of something else, although they are incredibly powerful. Fanatic Militarist, extra fire rate, less influence cost for claims, which is great. The Fanatic version, less trust growth, because, well, you've got nukes pointed at them, they're gonna be a little bit less trusting of you in general. Fanatic Xenophobe, tradition cost from Empire Sprawl is reduced, which is so-so, as long as you control your Empire Sprawl, that will never really come into effect. Home territory fire rate is increased, population growth is increased, diplomatic influence cost is increased. So you really can't do much with other empires, unless you're willing to spend a lot of influence. So I need to speed this up a bit. So you have competitive, which is all about trade value and market fee. You have elitism, which is all about having power to the leaders, and you even get nobles per 25 populations, which increase your stability. Fanatic materialist. It's research and less robot upkeep at the cost of happiness with the Fanatic version. You have this over here, which is the opposite of ecocentrism, and this will give you extra food, extra minerals, more districts per world, but less habitability because you're ruining the planets. Fanatic Authoritarian, extra influence, extra enforcers and all that, but less energy. Fanatic Pacifist, more stability, less Empire Sprawl. Oh, I didn't realize that also had less Empire Sprawl. Wow, you could really combo that, and it'd be really... Oh yeah, that's Empire Sprawl, that's admin cap. Okay, similar effect, but the opposite sides of the coin. But you get less navy capacity now. Fanatic Xenophile, just Xenophile in general, it's all about actually making others like you. It no longer has the trade value aspect. Again, something I actually really like there. Cooperative is all about propping up your people, so workers are really happy you need less housing, your research speed society is increased, but you get less trade value, so less money for your coffers. Then you have pluralism, which is all about your leaders, and you even reduce your crime. Well, it is about your leaders, but it's more about sharing everything. It's all about being equal, so your specialists get more political power, your leaders are more expensive, but you get more options for them since you're choosing from more people, and you get less crime. In my opinion, this one seems like the weakest out of all of them, though I could be wrong, this is a first look kind of thing. Fanatic Spiritualist, I love the slight change here. less amenities usage, but less physics research. Love that idea. And then we go back to loving the planet, extra habitability, you consume less consumer goods as you would imagine, the population grows slower, but buildings and districts are also cheaper to keep around, and you have waste recycling. Your alloys and consumer goods cost less minerals to produce. Also, natural planetary blockers produce unity and amenities. Again, something I love, hence why I kind of want to do a hippie playthrough. It means the natural blockers of the world are actually something of value, and Civics will buff that. Okay, that took way too long already. Let's just go into the Civics I've chosen and a few I want to mention because there are a lot of them. So like I said before, we are the machine cult, which is something I have always wanted in Stellaris, the idea of spiritualists who worship the machine god. Praise be to the omnissiah. The machine cult, they worship machines like gods, using the vigour of their faith to power robots. Starts the game with robot workers, technology, 4 robotic pot buildings, and the Mecha Monastery. Now the Mecha Monastery is my favourite thing ever, because it just sounds amazing, and that produces techno-priests, which give unity, engineering research, and reduce the upkeep for the robots on that world. Love that. So essentially what you're getting is extra engineering research, but because I'm a Fanatic spiritualist, less physics research. So it's a way to really specialise in one type of tech, again, something I love the idea of. And then if you combine this with theocracy, which will change up your high priests, you will get a really weird high priest, which also makes, I think your robots give you extra output. So the more high priests you have in the world, the more the robots give on that planet. So a lovely combination of those. There's a lot of text there, so I'm just kind of skim reading just to explain that again. If I miss anything, it's because there is so much to go through. Machine Cult also increases your population assembly speed, so as you can imagine, that is incredibly powerful just as it is. With Theocracy, it is as the usual Theocracy was, it's all about the High Priests being with your capital buildings, but also you do start off with the holographic rituals tech, which is how you build the, I think it's the 2nd level of temple, so that's pretty lovely as well. Finally, ruthless industrialism. And finally for my choices, ruthless industrialism. Essentially, this is a version of what I've already got over here with my Fanatic ethics choice. This will increase alloys and consumer goods from jobs. It gives me an additional district. The clear blocker time is reduced. Planetary build speed is increased. Habitability is reduced by another 5%, so we are really bad with habitability. Our buildings and districts cost more to upkeep, which is going to be really bad with the ring world, honestly. And then our clear blocker cost is increased. So it's faster, but costs more. I love this as well. As you can imagine, I've said that a lot today, but we're really going with the concept of this being the machine cult. Why care about the world and the flesh and the greenery when you can make everything machine? And of course, normally this empire would probably go down the route of becoming synthetics, but I love the idea of them becoming cyborgs and still worshipping the machines they create. Probably not the strongest way of playing this, but I really like that. Then there are loads of other choices, so what I'm going to do is jump over to the hippies and look at their choices, and then a few honourable mentions, because there are just so many. So here we are with the happy space hippie hierarchy. So here are the civics they have gone with. Keepers of Harmony. Benefits from a various range of planetary features and blockers, which provide them with some housing and special priest jobs. Druids. So if they have all these special blockers on a world, which normally you'd want to remove, they get druids from this, and apparently you can get more of them if you go with Theocracy, which I haven't this time, but if I ever play this, maybe I will. They can instantly start building the Paradise Dome, which is the housing and amenities building, but this will also increase Unity output as a special bonus for having Keepers of Harmony. Then they also get extra happiness from rare planetary blockers. There's a lot to read there, but it is very powerful, and you can also remove certain anomalies from planets as a planetary decision. Things like hazardous weather, wild storms, damaged ecology, irradiated planet, you can just remove them. The cost of this is that the mining districts cost 1 extra amenity, which is really interesting. They actually cost amenities, so not 1 extra amenities, they reduce the amenities of the planet by 1. You don't really want to mine the planet you're on, because you care about the planets ever so much. The effects are minus 10% food upkeep, minus 10% mineral upkeep, minus 15% consumer goods upkeep, and minus 15% amenities usage, and minus 1 maximum districts, which makes sense, because you're trying to keep the planet perfectly clean and you don't want to overdo it. They are then the Harmonious Collective, if I can talk, giving extra unity, less Empire sprawl populations, and less crime, because they all love each other. And then Natural Heritage, which is an interesting one. Certain blockers will give you worker jobs, like mining from mountain range, technicians from active volcanoes, and farmers from dense jungles, living with the world. Natural blockers also increase habitability and happiness by 1%, and also increase unity. So the whole point of this is to keep the planets as you find them, perhaps turn them into Gaia worlds, but ultimately leave them as they are and try to make it as habitable as possible. Again, I like the push for trying to make the planets nice for once. Normally it is more of a rush to utterly obliterate them. So then, just a few mentions. Straight away we have this, the Despots. This is a more extreme version of the guilds, which is, needless to say, incredibly powerful. An extra 5% output. We've already seen how powerful this is, so this is just even more so at the cost of their happiness. And you even reduce their political power. It's kind of brutal. You also increase the ratio of owned populations by 10%, and you can build a Neo-Colosseum where your owned populations can fight for your amusement, producing trade value and increasing army damage. Yeah, pretty brutal. Then we have a version of, what's it called, Shared Burdens over here, with extra population growth and labour heroes and loads more stuff there if you want to go down that route, with perhaps the Fanatic, where are you, Pluralism and Libertarian. This one over here, I think, could be one of those powerful things in the world, especially combined with your own populations. This will allow you to have extra mining station output, but most importantly, per 25 populations, you get a Mogul. The Mogul job gives you extra energy and minerals from jobs on that planet. Combine that with the really powerful owned population, and you can see how fast that would be really strong, especially in the early game, though it does restrict certain things like free market, public healthcare, all of these being some of the new policy options. Just going through these, I kind of want to talk about every single one of them, so to stop here with this, Utopian Democracy, because this gives you thinkers, which produce unity, increase amenities, and multiply planetary society research. And this, of course, replaces your normal administrators. You can't have production-focused policy with the military, and you get extra faction influence gain at the cost of extra war exhaustion. So this is more about peace and prosperity. And actually, there's quite a few of those, which all are about, well, peace and prosperity. With this one over here, you get researcher jobs per 33 pops. You have loads of stuff when it comes to trade value, things like peaceful traders, and if I can find it, has the dollar sign there. It is financial elite, which has a different version of the moguls, which increase trade value per one, so having worlds with loads of population would be insanely powerful. And then different versions of syncretic evolution, which is interesting as well. More to do with cyber stuff, cyber democracy, cyber dictatorship. Again, there is loads here, and we can't go over all of it, otherwise we'll be here all day. Today, though, we are playing the Machine Cult, just to see how this thing plays, and we are starting on the Ring World, because I love the idea of this. This species grew here, and the machines were already here, looking like gods. They were the only thing to survive the cataclysm, which destroyed the original population here. Seeing them as gods, that became their faith. So they are still fanatic spiritualists, but they worship the machine god. The voices in the machine which spoke to them and helped them out in the early days. Probably just going to play the first 50 to 100 years just to see what it's like. So, incoming highlights. Or cuts. Or something. Oh, after this. So yeah, we start off with the robot assembly plants, as you would expect. And we're just going to grab extra research speed, extra unity, and extra research speed. So let's have a look, see at the planet. Here we are, we have the Mecha Monastery, which is producing 3 of our Techno-Priests. The Techno-Priests are, if I go over to what they produce, there we go. They are producing engineering research, unity, amenities, and reducing robot upkeep by 7%. Is that each? Or is that per one? No, that's each, yeah, so minus 21% robot upkeep. The Mecha Monastery is a unique building per planet, so I don't think you can build more than one, outside of perhaps if you get special techs. But straight away, then, machines are almost free, which is really, really powerful, which is a lovely thing to see indeed. Then, over here, we have the High Priest, and because it's combining with The machine cult, the High Priest, is also increasing how much output is coming from our robots. Yep, plus 5% robot output. And engineering research from jobs is also increased by 5%. So you can see how, despite being spiritualist, you could kind of push engineering research with this. Probably not as much as a fanatic materialist, but spiritualists who love machines. I mean, again, what's not to love? Just realised I had sound effects off because the last game I played bugged out. So here we are with policies. We have the new stuff, we have transportation and logistics, we have education, we have healthcare, we have personal weapons, which is something I did not expect to see there, which is interesting. We have telecommunications, the military telecom or civilian telecom, and then we have mass media. We have the free media or we have the state media. So, loads more options to make your empire your own. I don't know what I'm going to choose here, honestly. An extra entertainer per 33 jobs. So I guess it is free media. Things like YouTube, for instance. YouTubers are now a thing. Confirmed. Just a quick look at our ships. Again, I will go more into detail with this mod, but from what I've seen, it's awesome. I've seen A-Spec and a load of other people recommend it, and yeah, I can certainly see why. An actual machine ship set. And it's like every single ship as well, even like the mining stuff, which is really high in attention to detail. Looks like it's based on the mammalian one, which I think makes a lot of sense as well. I'm not 100% sure if that's true. We'll see as we continue, but just from the early stuff, that is just such detail for a mod. I'll say for a mod. Again, I just don't play enough mods. Maybe my expectations are too low. Maybe I'm a dum-dum. There is at least one new Ascension perk. If I'm missing any, I do apologise there. But here, Future Society. Our society has reached an unsurpassed level of cultural development, +1 civic slots. Considering how powerful these civics are, yeah, I'm gonna be getting that. I'm now realising that the Ringworld start is actually a terrible start for these civics. The extra district cost is outdoing the arcane generator, which means right now I'm actually losing rare resources. On top of that, we don't have enough energy for our machines.
System survey complete.
I think it'll turn around once I get the commercial segment. We can start pumping out some extra energy and everything else. Civilian transport, pacifist ethics attraction is increased, ship upkeep is increased. However, colonies are faster, population growth and immigration is increased, and trade value is increased. Did not expect that from... Actually, no, it makes sense. We're dedicating more towards our civilians and not towards our military, so money! Ooh, specialist output increased by 15% versus extra unity per month, governing ethics extraction. You know what? We're going to go with private education, though. All glory to our priests. Healthcare. Oh god, there's loads of stuff to choose from here, isn't there? Wow, there's just so much stuff. Medical workers produce trade value. Oh, private healthcare, of course. Okay. But population growth for medical health workers is reduced by 2%, so there's a statement there, which I'm not going to read into. Worker happiness reduced by 5%. Public healthcare, population growth is increased by 10% as a passive, but we get less money. You know what? Public healthcare. So public healthcare, private education, authority stance, and apparently we can't do either of these because we don't have the tech. Okay. And we can't do these because these, I think, yeah, require certain civics for the economic stance, free market and planned and all that. So you'll only see those active in certain empire choices. So I already love the lore of this empire, even though it's a bit of a proto-empire, since I haven't really fleshed it out too much in my head, but because they're so used to this ring world where everything is perfect for them, everything is just utterly, yeah, perfect, there's nothing wrong here, it's flawless. As soon as they get to a normal world, they have problems. They do have desert world preference, and yet it's still a yellow world rather than green. It's still 68% habitability, and it's because they get the -7 and then the -5 from all of this. They're so used to being able to just take and convert from every last little inch of their ring world that they then do that to a normal world, and it becomes somewhat toxic for them. But on the upside, the machines aren't affected by this, once again, proving the machine superiority. Here's the machine colony ship. Ooh. That looks like the, oh, what's it called? The automated dreadnought front. Am I right here? Am I wrong? Either way, looks very machiney, and I do approve. You know, there are certain words... Oh dear. There are certain words which I can't say because of my stammer, my speech impediment, and this is one of them. I've been trying to say it now, and I've had at least 20 attempts. Let's try 21. Anthropocentrism. Like anthropomorphism. There you go, finally said it. Okay, so, yeah, I kind of avoided saying that earlier, but it's the concept of your species comes first, rather than the planet. In fact, does it specifically mean human? I don't know, because an anthropomorphic animal, for instance, well, we all know what that is. We share the same divine heritage. Synthoids. Ooh, rogue servitors as well. Interesting. Ah, they like us already. We like you too, but, well, of course we like you. Yep, faithful followers.
Situation log updated.
They like us because of that, and we like them because of divine mechanisms. Yeah, and that's because, of course, we are a machine cult. Wow, yeah, so that completely overrides Fanatic Spiritualist then. Because normally a Spiritualist Empire hates machines, but because we are the machine cult, it's overrid it, and we like them. Love that. Again, I love that idea.
New wisdom.
First mod I'm testing, already very happy.
Transmission.
So, do you have any unique civics? We have 3, but no, I don't think the hive mind and the machine have any unique civics or anything else. Could be wrong there, by the way, but that seems to be how it is. Okay, we have our first 2 factions, and... Okay, very happy to see that our Spiritualist faction doesn't have any anti-machine things. That would be something which would be very easy to accidentally leave in, so lovely to see that's been dealt with. We then have this one, which is one of the new ones, which is our Fanatic here. And setting up consumer benefits trade policy will please the Mining and Refining Foundation. It wants at least 10,000 minerals stored. So you really love your minerals, don't you? Okay, so pretty neutral at the moment. But you're incredibly happy. Okay. So far, very impressed. Okay, our authoritarian faction has this one. Ban personal weapons. Applying strict control on distribution and use of personal weapons in our empire will please the obedience, loyalty, and duty vanguard. When your citizens can't fight back, I imagine it is rather easier to be an authoritarian. No free media. Darn. And autocracy. Once again, happy to see the different things interacting.
System survey complete.
Just thinking back about something I was talking about earlier, and I think I would still rush synthetic evolution here. Just make sure to have organics also growing on the world, similar to the meta run I did recently, because that's essentially how that ended up with synths, and then through migration treaties and everything else, we still have normal populations growing there as well. I just don't like the concept of not having organics in these worlds, because of the whole machine cult idea. It just seems too much like machines once everyone is a synth. On our second world, we are now building our first mecha monastery. Well, at least the first one we've ever built. This one came free for us.
Incoming transmission.
Over here, we've just about won these fellows over. They are Fanatic materialists, and despite the fact we like machines, they still don't like us being spiritualist about it. Thankfully, though, we have 2 fellows which really like us. We have the peaceful traders, and of course, we have the rogue servitors. Oddly enough, machines and ourselves get along pretty darn well.
Incoming transmission.
Gonna start throwing habitats down. And by habitats I meant say colonies, even on these worlds, which are pretty rubbish for us, just because very soon we should be getting droid tech, which means they can take over building themselves on these planets. So may as well get it all started.
System survey complete.
So far, this is looking like a fairly strong empire, especially because the extra population growth from the extra assembly speed from being a machine cult. I've just upgraded my main building to a planetary capital, which means now we have 2 high priests, which means we are getting a plus 10% engineering research from the ring world, and we are getting plus 10% from our robots. That is very, very powerful. So what else gives you high priests? Is it the fully upgraded temple, or is it the special, the Citadel of Faith, which is a separate building now from the temple? Because obviously you want as many high priests as possible on pretty much every world, even non-tech worlds, just for that robot output. Still haven't got the droid tech yet though, which is very annoying. I've built a small fleet, which consists of corvettes and destroyers. I have to say, one thing I really do like with these models is the weapons themselves. I think they look really sleek and just really nice. Same, of course, goes for the corvettes and their little missile pods and everything. Just, yeah, really like these. They're simple, but kind of what I'd expect from a machine empire, honestly. I haven't found anything to complain about yet. I don't like that. Which itself is something to complain about.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
I'm too happy. It's not right.
Complete.
Time to teach
Our
some primitives
have secured
how to make
planet.
machines. So straight away, what I'd love you fellas to do is robot assembly plants, a mecha monastery, and a shrine. It's going to be a bit of a jump for you, I admit, but you know, you'll be fine. You're docile, you understand.
Construction complete.
A lovely starting location, actually. Got 2 tomb worlds as well. So we have friends all around us, 2 tomb worlds. By tomb worlds, I would say the primitive worlds. Lots of other worlds to convert. We will have to be aggressive, though, to break through, because I think this empire will do well really expanding. It definitely wants as many worlds as possible. It really, really does. I mean, just the fact that each world gets plus 2 districts. No.
Incoming transmission.
Bad. Bad Fallen Empire. Finally, you have droid tech, so let's go straight into the flesh is weak. Not only will this allow us to become cyborgs, but most importantly, pop assembly speed is increased by 10%. I know us becoming cyborgs should be the most important thing here, and really it is. But I don't care. I just want more robots. Wow, super, super early drums of war. That's terrifying. Hopefully you're not too connected to this empire, because that's not too far away from us. Can someone else deal with you? Because you're way too strong. I think we're all going to be owned by the Horde very soon. That's not good. I don't want to be owned by a marauder clan. I like being free instead. So, more of the new stuff here. We have the Ibitarian. I'm assuming that's going to be libertarian ethos over here. We have the elitism. Just regular materialist, regular authoritarian, okay, and we've just become cyborgs, and we are absolutely fine with it. Thank you. Okay, very, very glad that our faction, our spiritualists, are still fine with cyborgs as well, which makes complete sense. Glorious. Plus 20% habitability, helping to counter the fact we are destroying the planets we live on. So now I have a new civic slot, and I'm very tempted to go with welfare state. In this society, the state traditionally plays a key role in the protection and promotion of the economic and social well-being of its citizens. City districts provide extra housing, administrators provide extra amenities, mining, farming, and generator districts provide 1 extra job and 1 extra housing each, which is insanely good considering we have extra districts. That's the main thing there, but they have plus 15% increased upkeep. But still, an extra job more than outdoes that. You can't use private healthcare or private education policies. Oh, we have at least one of those, don't we? Which one was it again? I can't quite remember. Private education. So we'd end up going with public instead, which is less energy per month. More governing ethics extraction, more unity, less crime. But we'd lose out on that specialist output. Okay, so maybe not. I do like the specialist output increase there. Republican ideals. Extra happiness. Faction influence gain. Workers get more political power, that's fine. Specialists get more political power, that's fine. Don't really care too much about the last. Well, the authoritarian ethics attraction minus is pretty brutal, but Very tempted by one of these two then. Welfare state seems really interesting, but for now I think just increasing the happiness and increasing how much influence we get from our factions seems to be a powerful, just nice thing to have, so let's go with that. 4 civics. Oh dear, things aren't going particularly well over here. So many things to get used to. Warrior culture. That's just for normal warrior culture, just a bit of an image, right? I know that you can have gladiators as a job and commanders. Wait, are you two the same empire? What? Oh no, you've taken over these worlds, that's why. Okay. No, this is that empire. I was going to say, that's a weird glitch in the Matrix moment. Intervention list. God, there's just so many things I've not seen. Okay, just focus on what we're doing right now.
Survey complete.
Okay, one of the new techs. Governance federalized state. Which one is this? I know it's one of the ones which we couldn't get earlier. There we are. Federalized state. Bureaucracy is significantly decentralized, providing governing efficiency at the cost of losing some power. Admin cap is increased by 20%, which is lovely to see. +1 governor level cap. Edict cost is plus 25%, don't mind that too much. And libertarian ethics attraction is increased by 15%. With centralized, on the other hand, you get influence. I'll probably want that in the future just because influence is key, but yeah, let's go for that tech and let's get this. Well, I've definitely never had this many machines this early. Almost 70 machines, and they rival the overall population of our main species. That is really quick population growth. And I haven't even really been super tech heavy or anything. For once, I've actually got a small fleet. Normally, I'm just not aggressive at this point at all, but we are actually almost level fleet power with our neighbours. Almost, not quite. They are superior, but only just. I do kind of want to attack the Union, but at the same time, I kind of want to build up a fleet to at least attack one of the Horde. Thankfully, it seems like the Horde is being attacked from all angles, and they keep on losing 1 or 2 systems, so if we're lucky, they won't get to us anyway, so we can focus on grabbing some of these worlds. There are so many worlds we could take. So many lithoids to turn into cyborgs. Here we go, finally to war. Now, what I'm looking for here is I want to see if the cruisers, little strike craft, are unique to the Machine Empire. I don't remember. Yeah, I think that's unique, right? Once again, very impressed. The flesh is weak, stone is stronger. Metal is better. Submit to our will. We are here only to make you superior. You're welcome. We might win this. It was pretty much the same fleet power on both sides, but I did engage that first group without the second group, so a lot of focus fire happened. Although I am seeing a lot of death already on our side. Come on, cruisers! Come on, strike craft!
Construction complete.
Oh yeah, I love these machine ships. Oh no, we're just crushing them.
Construction complete.
We have superior tech, and apparently that was more than enough. If we status quo now, we get everything we wanted, so yep. There we are, we've got a brand new world. Hello there, lads. Guess what? We're going to assimilate you, and that'll make you pretty much habitable anywhere. Our lovely cyborg rocky spiders. Let's change the gene clinics over for a robot assembly plant, shall we? I love this empire, really do. It's very balanced. Not in terms of, oh, the game is so balanced, everything is equal. Balanced as in, it seems to be good at doing whatever it wants. You can tech rush if you want, especially engineering. Our engineering, as you can see, is much higher than the others. Our physics is just terrible. I love that still, because that's what Iron Empire's good at. But also, if you want to go down the route of alloys, because it's all destroy the planet, harvest it all, machines everywhere, you can do that as well. Or kind of go with a mixed bag like I have. Doing a bit of everything. There we go, the Sacred Nexus, which gives 2 priest jobs each. These are also not unique to the planet. There's 2 high priest jobs. The high priests increase how much... Wow, yeah, it increases how much your machines give, and it increases how much engineering research you get. Well, that's going to be all over the main planet.
Our
just
ships have been improved.
That's all the main planet's going to be. Just more and more temples. So yeah, what we're going to need then very quickly is loads more of this, and we do not have enough money for that because our economy finally has kind of plateaued a bit nastily recently. What I need to do is start getting more consumer goods so I don't have to keep on buying them as well. That might help, I would imagine. There we are, we've built ourselves the Sacred Nexus, which means now we have 4 High Priests, giving us plus 20% engineering research from jobs, and giving us plus 20% robot output, in addition to loads of Unity and Society research all by themselves. So surely I would just want Sacred Nexus buildings everywhere. They do cost a fair bit of consumer goods, but those bonuses, that's just insane. We have our first battleship. Lovely. And we've also been upgrading our strike craft now, so we have rank 2 rather than just using scout craft like we were using before. We are far stronger, and honestly, as soon as we can, we're just going to go to war. We already have claims on their homeworld. Did I make a claim on the homeworld? Yes, I did. Lovely, so all of that. They are nowhere near strong enough to stop us, and we even have nihilistic acquisition. I don't know if I mentioned that before, which means we can just go around stealing populations after we remove their fleets. And that war will likely be where I call this. I have been having way too much fun with this empire. Absolutely adore it in every way. Love it in terms of the theme. Love it in terms of the gameplay. Is it balanced? Probably not. Do I care? No. Do I kind of want to do a full playthrough with this particular empire? Yes. Ooh, the Citadel Faith. There we go. That's the extra High Priest jobs I was thinking of. That one also makes... Yeah, that one... Actually, why is that better than just the other one? Don't know. Some of the regular jobs seem to have been altered as well, so it's a bit interesting sometimes with this mod.
Incoming transmission.
Well, there's one of their main fleets. Our battleships there, loosing our strike craft. Yep, they are very rapidly being destroyed. Lovely, lovely swarms. So what we're going to do is just take all of this. Don't take every single world. Then we'll go over here and bombard the planet for a while, stealing its populations. Which will be then converted into more of us. There's not actually a connection here, is there? No good. I might split the fleet. Split again, so have a weaker group. Okay, weaker group, can you go this way and just hold there? Because otherwise we're going to have fellows sneaking up on us, which would be really annoying. Let's go with that one.
The spirits have granted us new
And there should be enough ground force to just take this world straight away. Oh, no, no, not you. Where's the other ground force? There you are. You go there. Also, I hope you can't hear it, but there's a lot of building work going on outside of my apartment right now. I was hoping they were done for the day, but they've just came back, so if that's been in the video, I do apologise.
incoming transmission.
And once you're there, begin bombardment of the planet. Our first population being abducted just happened.
The apostates are after our spaceport.
And I'm busy having the
Our
research
champions
segment.
are
Ooh.
making planetfall. May the spirits
Which spaceport under attack?
protect them.
Oh, so these fellas. Okay, no problem.
Our champions have
So
secured
yep, two
a
worlds are
hidden planet.
currently being attacked like this. And we'll just have these ground forces just waiting to attack. See, the problem is if we attack this now and take the world, they'll probably give up. So we can't continue to steal populations. You've got to get very close to winning, but not quite. That's the trick. Okay, we're just going to win now because I am going to be calling the episode. I think I've got a basic grasp of this empire now, though definitely could have done better. With a bit more knowledge.
Champions have secured a heathen planet.
There we are, we now have their capital. So, do I like this empire? Yes. Do I like this mod? Yes. Is there a lot more to learn? Yes. And I've probably missed loads of other stuff as well. Has it affected federations, for instance? I honestly don't know, since I haven't got a federation. And there is plenty more to check out as well. But, let's have one last overview of the mod itself, and then we'll call it a day. I've had way too much fun during this video. So in summary, really love this mod. I love the overall feel of it. I like the fact it's still building on the regular game itself without changing it too much, making it feel like a whole other game or different ideals there. It just feels like the game itself with loads of little random extras, and I think there is so much more to play around with. There's probably ways of playing this empire way better, and I'm sure there's ways of abusing some of these to the highest level. I'm thinking something like this one over here, the Despots, plus the Moguls, for instance, I think would be insanely powerful. The start of that would just be every basic resource cranked up to 11, and you would just dominate the galaxy. That's just one idea. After looking at it for like 5 seconds, there's loads more. So with that, once again, the links for the mods will be in the description, and please let me know if you like this type of video and just me going through the mods as a bit of a mod showcase, playing it for so many years and then giving my opinion. I think I've made my opinion very clear. I love this mod, and I absolutely adore the machines as well. From the brief things I've seen, they all seem to fit perfectly, and I can't wait to see the mega structures and everything else. I've been trying to stay spoiler-free and not looking on all the screenshots, and I can only imagine they would look fantastic. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourite, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris, and modded Stellaris, is a series you wish to see continue in the future. Maybe I'll do a full playthrough of this fairly soon, maybe I'll do it with the gigastructures, I don't really know. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.